Ryan Keaulana and Dave Parmenter talk about the C4 Waterman Vortice XP, a racing innovation for all conditions.
You know, what you see right here is our 14-foot fixed fin Vortice, and you know, this is like my dream machine. You know, where as a kid I was growing up, you know, doodling on paper about surfing from island to island, you know, just daydreaming. And here's one of the dreams that actually came to reality. You know, I've paddled this board, you know, on runs, you know, that is open ocean and going from Molokai to Oahu, you know, 32 miles, and surfing, you know, open ocean waves from wave to wave. And this is just a rocket, you know, of an surfboard. You know, to surf in the middle of the ocean is just, you know, I'm in awe. You know, it's like me surfing, you know, 20-foot makaha, you know, and I can surf in the middle of the channel, you know, with boards like this and just connecting from wave to wave to wave. And it's a magic carpet ride. It's just, you know, so amazing, you know, to live one of your life's dreams as a kid, you know, and doing what you know, it's like your whole life dream to be. And, you know, it's just fun. You know, the Vortice is just a great design, designed by a lot of people. Dave Parmenter is shaping the foundation of this board. Karel Tresnick trying his whole turn on top of the thing too. And Todd Bradley also too with his whole paddling expertise. And I think that's what people, you know, when you look at a piece of equipment, any piece of equipment, you know, look at the people behind it in developing that type of equipment, the years, the knowledge, you know, the pains of falling or not catching that wave. I mean, this right here has just, we've jumped, you know, tenfold into what we used to paddle before. And this right here, this board is actually the hybrid byproduct of boards past, all the different windsurfing boards we use, tandem boards that we paddled in the middle of the ocean, into what we have right now, you know, our Vortice XP, which is just like a one-man canoe technology. So I just cannot tell you how much stoked I am on this whole board right now, and you know, to be out in the ocean and just you and a couple friends and no crowds, no one around, and just you and nature and just having a blast.
C4 Waterman has transformed a vision into fruition.
Okay, so now what we see emerging is this whole new sport of stand-up paddleboard races, and as of today, it's starting to kind of gel into a couple main categories. We've got boards with fixed fins, and we're seeing another school that are going into rudders. And the difference there is that with the rudder boards, you can tackle a little bit more different conditions like side wind, beam winds, you know, adverse conditions, and I think that that's good for the bigger boards, that you cover a lot of distance over a set period. It's not as intimate as the fixed fin. The fixed fin on, say, this board here, our Vortice XP, is made to be, you know, low to the water, intimate, using a lot of surfing body English to ride the bumps, swivel the hips, dip the paddle, to swing from bump to bump, something you just cannot do with a rudder.
Versatility is the key. The Vortice XP is an all-conditions board designed for racing innovation in flat water or rough water. This board is fast, friendly, and usable for whatever conditions you get into in lakes, rivers, open ocean. Now you can find the water of your choice. Get to it, use it, have fun.
The other schools that are emerging in the stand-up paddleboard races are there's flat water boards, say in California for bay races. This board here, like what we've worked on, it's an oceanic board. It's made from the rocker up. And basically what we've done here with working with Brian Keaulana, Todd Bradley, Karel Tresnick, and myself, and Archie Kalepa, of course, for the last 5 years, is nail down a bottom rocker that exactly fits our typical trade wind bumps. So that means it has to fit into like a 6 or 8 second interval wave that we're going to see on our Hawaii Kai runs in Diamond Head and the Molokai Channel. If the rocker fits into that typical curve of the bumps you're riding, you're not going to bridge out, you're not going to, you know, slow, you're not going to have the nose pearl, but it needs not to be too much rocker because it has to push back a little bit. So it ends up squeezing you out of the bump. So it's a very, very technical thing.
Advanced technology, the Vortice XP works great in all conditions.
With the prime directive for us is to be low to the water, very intimate, a lot of surfing body English to catch waves and ride them and track and actually leap into the next wave. So a lot of times we're gobbling up these bumps like M&Ms, just speed loading them, just one after another. Something that you can't really do in, say, like the Keaulana race. So we're going to start to see classes emerging where we have, I'd say 14 feet and under is going to be like stock class, and then 14 and over with rudders or multi-hulls or whatever is going to be the open class. And I think you're going to mostly see that in the continental United States. In Hawaii, I don't think you're going to see people concentrating on the downhill, downwind side of things. And the boards have to have a certain amount of rocker, and they have to have some, you know, planing aspects. What I've done with this board is work on making it a planing hull. With a little bit of push and it gets on top of a wave, it planes, so you just have these incredible bursts of speed. And that's when we start passing the guys on round-hulled canoes or paddle boards. It's extremely exciting to basically surf from island to island.
Not all venues have reliable constant conditions. The Vortice XP addresses multiple conditions you may encounter.
Yeah, so we've built these boards after about 4 or 5 years. It started with Archie Kalepa paddling just basically an EPS epoxy tanker across the Molokai Channel solo, coming in at probably about 7 or 8 hours. Now we've gotten them down to the better stand-up paddlers are crossing the channel in even under 5. And that's, a lot of it's based on the advances in the design. This board was molded by Karel Tresnek, pretty much the pioneer and the foremost innovator of the OC1, the Outrigger Canoe 1. So it's a hollow molded carbon board. This 14 feet, it weighs about 20 pounds. It's pretty much greased lightning. There's a lot of new boards coming into the market too. And we hope to see things established in classes like paddle boards where a lot of different athletes can basically paddle on the same board. It makes it more competitive, and it makes people train a little bit harder to know that everything's on an even field. So if you decide that you want to try the open ocean racing, whether you're in flat water or here in Hawaii where we've got a lot of wind, the thing is just go out and try some boards. Go try to find a place where the wind is blowing on your tail and go straight downwind and learn how to get your paddling rate and stroke into sync with the seas and the wind behind you, and start looking for the nose to drop and the tail to go up, and that's your signal that it's time to really drop the hammer and catch that bump. And that's probably the best way to learn it, but it's way easier and much more fun if you can find some place where you have a nice downwind run, like if you can go out to a promontory or point somewhere where the wind angles you down to the shore, so it's safe. So no matter what, you're going to blow in. Say like Dana Point to Doheny and stuff like that, or San Clemente, or here the Hawaii Kai Run to Diamond Head. That's the best way to get your feet wet in this and start to learn how to do this new sport. And it's for anybody that's driven a boat down seas. If you ever handled a small skiff in the open ocean down seas, it's a lot like that. You read the ocean when you're going down. You throttle back, throttle forward, try to really notch the thing in and get little bursts of speed, maybe go left, right, follow it. It's a lot like that.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you download all 4 videos of the Vortice XP series, starting with Versitility with Dave Parmenter and Brian Keaulana, Paddling Techniques with Todd Bradley and Malika Dudley, Do's and Don'ts of the Care for your Vortice XP with Karel Tresnek, and Racing Tips and Techniques with Todd Bradley. Enjoy.